To conclude this part in what we have learned so far, we're going to see in action through some simple examples in which situations we can use compression and how to use it thanks to the controls we have seen together. So we're going to apply the theory with some mixing situations we can all meet. First example with drums in this mix. That sounds pretty good overall, but these drums may lack a little bit of punch and impact. For that, loading a compressor on the drum bus will help us. I'm gonna let the 2:1 ratio for now and start adjusting the threshold to see when the compression starts, thanks to the gain reduction meter. For now, the compression is extreme, but here we are on drums and we see that the attack is fast right now. So we are crushing the attack of the kick and snare. Typically here, I'm gonna set a slow attack to preserve the transients of the drums because we want them punchy. So let's set that by ear and stop when it sounds good. Same thing for the release now. Here a fast release seems better to preserve the sustain of the drums. For the ratio I let 2:1 because it's a quite preservative ratio. I don't want to crush the signal, so stay away from a high ratio like 10:1. And now it's time to compensate the decibels we lost with compression with the makeup gain. We have to get the same volume between before and after compression. Now let's listen to before and after, alone and in context. Second example with the guitar. With no compression, we hear that we have some soft parts a little bit drowned in the mix, and on the contrary, louder parts jumping out a little bit too much. We also notice a little lack of detail, so we need to control the dynamic. With compression, now the dynamic is reduced, making the volume of the soft parts closer than the peaks. Now the track sits better in the mix and is more detailed. Third example with a synth bass. Right now with no compression there's no major problem, that sounds pretty good like this. But it lacks a little bit of fullness and character. With compression, we have more fullness, especially around the mid-frequencies, and we have more texture and details. And there's also a nice color brought by this compressor. And finally, an example with vocals on this mix.
The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer. The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer.
For now, it's raw on the vocals, because there's no processing with reverb, delay, EQ, and more, but we already noticed that some words are too loud and others buried. So we need to control the dynamic to keep a constant level to make the vocals sit better in the mix.
The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer. The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer. The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer. The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer. The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer. The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer.
After compression, the track is more intelligible, evened out thanks to a controlled dynamics that allows us to hear every details of the vocal and make it sit better with all the instruments of the song.
The night begins to fall on us. Get a little closer.
So here are some examples in action applying the basic controls of compression. You need to take your time to apply these concepts on your mixes and productions. Training is essential to get solid foundations. And then we can go on with the rest of this course, where we will see more advanced concepts.